Kansas gave it their best effort, and you know, that's all that matters, right? That's all that counts. Did they play hard and have fun? You want to go get an ice cream sundae?
No statements?
I don't know. I didn't see one yet, but he released a statement that he regretted his first statement. So I don't know what's going on with Bill Self right now. I thought this was a good game from Kansas, though. They came ready to play and gave Houston their best punch. Sadly for Bill Self and the Kansas Jayhawks, their best punch is worse than Houston's average punch. And a
Mm.
very average Houston game led to a 6 point victory for the Cougars on J'Wan Roberts senior night. J'Wan Roberts was pretty much nowhere to be found. 6 points, 5 rebounds. He did have 4 steals, but I thought this was a stinker from him. Maybe a little juiced up, maybe a little emotional given the spot of this game. LJ Cryer was stellar, 22 points, 4 threes. All in all, Houston's defense did make enough plays down the stretch of this game to create some late separation, but this game was there for the taking for most of it. What'd you think?
Yeah, I mean, obviously a lot of emotions with Houston senior night and Juwan Roberts. That clip was great, by the way, with him and Kelvin Sampson. I think that just speaks to the program, the coach that Sampson is. And look, Houston really didn't have anything to play for in this basketball game, right? They had the Big 12 wrapped up. Things are going good for them. Kansas, on the other hand, had everything to play for, given how this team has been the past couple games and things like that. Um, but fact of the matter is, even if, you know, they were able to get some good point production and rebounds out of Hunter Dickinson, they turned the ball over 20 times. 20. Houston had 16 steals, G. 16.
It's a crazy number.
Dog, 16 steals?
Crazy number, man.
I mean, Hunter Dickinson, 7 turnovers, fouls out in 31 minutes. Zeke Mayo, 6 turnovers. Let's go look and check on our portal transfers. Rylan Griffin, 11 minutes, nothing. AJ Storr, 5 minutes, 2 points. Their best guard was Diggy Coit. This is Kansas. Um, just I don't this Kansas team just is not it. You can throw lipstick on a Jayhawk. That motherfucker's still gonna be a Jayhawk. I really don't know what else to go with this team, where else to go with it. Um, I think the last thing I'll say is I think the first 12 minutes of this basketball game, Kansas guards didn't even get a shot up.
Mm.
Not even
Right.
an attempt.
Yeah, you're right.
Can you read me Dwan Harris's stat line, please?
Do I need to? I will. Do I need to?
I would like you to.
Dwan Harris had 2 points on 2 shots with 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 turnovers, 2 steals, and 3 fouls in 34 minutes.
34 minutes, huh?
That'd be 34 minutes. Yep, Cart. You tired?
I'm a little tired. This Jayhawks team's wearing me down.
Yeah, you're tired, and we've done like one video a month about them. And Kansas players have to live this. Kansas fans have to watch this 2 times a week.
I am going through this in the one video a month, though. I am starting to understand. I'm starting to
Well,
understand.
I think the Kansas, you can watch this team, and the team is fatigued from this group. Like this team just wants you can tell everybody wants it to end. And
Yeah,
that's a tough place to be. Now, at the same time, we're saying all this, we're dogging them. You could have, like, if you had told me we're going to come out as be like, oh, they're all tired, they hate each other, read me Dewan's stat line. Ugh, it's awful. Diggy Coit was the best guard. Blah, blah, blah. I would have said Houston by 47. So, like, is it really that fair for us to come with all this animosity and vitriol to Kansas when they covered on the road against the best team here?
sure.
Like, this game was there for the taking, and we're making the story like Kansas has no heart, no answers.
So the there for the taking phrase. Let's get into that a little bit more.
They led in the
Um,
second half. The biggest lead that Houston ever had was 7 points. This was
right.
there.
But that points to it was there for the taking. And then you look down the bench and there's no one who wants to take shit.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. That is kind of a good way. I mean, that is it's a reminder of how Hunter Dickinson teams usually play. They're good enough, but it doesn't ever click in winning time ever.
Yeah, and I mean, you're not gonna. Uh, Houston played bad in this game. Like I understand that that did have something to do with Kansas. I mean, Kansas actually held Houston to 65 points. It's tough to lose a game when you hold a team to 65 points. But when you only put up 59, that can surely happen.
They had
Um,
20 turnovers. That was a crazy thing. They turned
yeah, I
over.
mean that's really what it comes down to. And you know, Hunter Dickinson and Zeke Mayo by themselves had 13 turnovers.
Yeah,
Two players combined for 13 turnovers by themselves.
yeah,
Houston had 16 steals.
it's crazy.
Dog, that's just you're not gonna win a game.
Yeah, yeah, 14 more turnovers than Houston. You just can't give that Houston team at home that many more possessions, and it's honestly remarkable you only lost by 6 given
It
that.
really is.
Yeah. Okay. Couple more Kansas questions, then I can flip with a couple things on Houston. But first, Rylan Griffin started in this game and then only played 11 minutes, went 0 for 4 from the floor, was basically chained to the bench after starting the game. AJ Storr played 5 minutes off the bench. That was weird. Two turnovers in 5 minutes, didn't get back in the game. Diggy Coit got all the bench guard minutes, 29 of those minutes. And then even Rakis Passmore sighting. I mean, this is a guy
Has,
who had
hasn't played in like a month, 2 months.
he had two games. He played against BYU and Oklahoma State, but he has 9 DNPs in conference play. So he has not played, not taken the warmups off in back-to-back games against Colorado and Texas Tech, and now it just felt like you were searching for answers. You go to him for 8 very empty minutes. The most notable impact he had on this game was fouling a three-point shooter in a close game. So in 8 Rakis Passmore minutes, he did not record a stat other than fouling a three-point shooter. You get where I'm going with this. Bill Self is clearly like searching for answers. But on a night where you lose by 6 against Houston, one of his answers was Rakis Passmore for 8 minutes over AJ Storr or Riley Griffin. I understand people are upset with Storr and with Griffin this year in various ways. Seems like a lot of people are out on Storr. Kansas fans
Can
just
I,
don't like him.
can I stick up for Store for 1 second here?
That's where I'm at on this.
Like I understand that Store and Self got this thing that's probably going on, but at the same time, like AJ Store is a guy that you score 59 points this game, you need a bucket. You lose by 6 and you need a bucket, and he's trying to like plant AJ Store like in the corner or like run him off. Like that's not who he is. You need to give him the ball and let him go try to score. And I just don't understand how AJ Store gets 5 minutes. I get that you might be unhappy with him. I get that might play a factor. But for you to be searching for answers for AJ Store to get 5 minutes, that makes absolutely zero sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I do not accept this. And I don't I'd like to talk to some Kansas fans and understand more because I only see stuff that pops on my timeline from various accounts. And I feel like my guess on the general pulse of Kansas right now is that they are over AJ Storr. I think Kansas fans would be perfectly fine if he never plays again for Kansas. I think they're also frustrated with their vets. I know they were upset with KJ, who I thought was really good in this game. I feel like I've heard Kansas fans wanting more Rylan Griffin. So maybe there's a little line there. But bottom line is this for me. Bill Self, you made your bed here. I'm using the phrase I keep using, but like you chose these players. You chose AJ Storr. It took a Google search to know what AJ Storr's history was. As a teammate, as a guy who's jumped around from program to program. You chose Rylan Griffin. You chose Riley Kugel, who has all the same problems AJ Storr is, and then you didn't let him come. You made some choices. And to just sort of give up on them for whatever reason. Like AJ Store's clearly in the doghouse, fine. All I know is this: AJ Store's lack of production this season is unacceptable, and it falls on Bill Self. It doesn't fall on anybody else. You can blame AJ Store if you want. But for Bill Self to not figure out what Greg Gard was able to figure out last year, and to have that hang over this team to the point where they need to rely on Diggy Coit so much, it's unacceptable and it's a disaster. And it's one of the worst coaching jobs I think Bill Self has ever done in his career. So I just don't know what you do with it, but I do not accept it. It's one thing if you want to go to Rylan Griffin more, if you want to try just play Zeke Mayo 40 minutes, whatever. But to play Rakis Passmore 8 minutes in this game against this defense, that's waving a white flag.
That's
It should
also
never happen.
it's also not fair to pass more.
No.
You got him collecting DMPs and you throw him to the wolves on Houston senior night.
Crunch time minutes, by the way. This was a tie game with like 10 minutes left, and Rakis Passmore's on the floor.
Like, I thought last year was Bill Self's worst coaching job, and he said, hold my
It's a
chaos."
disaster. It's a complete disaster.
It is.
Hunter Dickinson had 17 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists, 7 turnovers. Was awful. He did foul out with 31 minutes. I thought his fingerprints were all over this game early when Kansas did have a lead. He was really pacing them and kind of dominating inside. Bottom line, no matter what you want to say, Hunter destroyed the Houston front court in this game. Houston's front court had zero scoring. Juwan Roberts was awful, and Hunter was great. So he's still one of the most productive players in college basketball. The turnovers definitely killed them, and it felt like in crunch time when this was like a tie game still, they kept going to Hunter. They would send the double, and he kept trying to make that skip pass, and it just was not there against the Houston defense. So how would you assess Hunter's performance here?
I mean, I think it's just for as much as you want to point out Hunter's shortcomings, he's still a dynamic basketball player, especially offensively, and he's gonna get his. Like that's definitely gonna happen. But I think I think like you said, some of the turnovers he had were just in critical moments.
Yeah,
But also like they need to look to Hunter because I mean they look to go to their point guard Zeke Mayo who has 6 turnovers himself.
yeah.
So just a tough spot for Kansas to be in.
Yeah. I don't know. It was a classic Hunter game where he gave you like a bunch of good, but then in big moments gave you bad. And you're like, damn, dude, just it's not all the way there. But look, he's has production. He's going to be first team All Big 12. Had a great college basketball career with a lot of seasons just like this along the way. Houston, Juwan Roberts, bad game, but in the pregame, pretty cool moment. Him and his family and Calvin Sampson on the court. Calvin was brought to tears. And you saw, I think it was Juwan Roberts' mom. I don't know that for sure, but she went in for a hug, and you could see Calvin Sampson mouth the words, "That's my guy. That's my
Yeah.
guy." Just crying. Did that do anything to you?
Yeah, it did. Just because I like Samson, I'm a Samson guy, and also like I hit my college coach with the knuckles when I went out for senior day, so it's good to see like that type of that. Oh shit. But it's I don't know. I'm a sucker for these moments with Samson. Like I think it was last year when he was talking about Jamal Shed. It's just you can see the type of person and the coach that he is and how he loves his players, and it's always tugs at my heartstrings. It's a little corny, I think, at some point, and some people might get like old of that type of stuff, but I love seeing that type of stuff.
Yeah. Where are you at with the Houston backcourt? Because midway through the season, we were very out on it.
I'm in.
Los has been incredible lately. Cryer was incredible in this game. I have new takes on the Houston
I'm
backcourt.
in. I'm very much in.
Are you?
I am in. Yep.
Okay.
Because if Los is going to be productive, I still trust Crier. And then they kind of have. I actually did they not start Sharp because of Senior Day festivities?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, understood. But like even so, like having some guys that can be productive off the bench, even outside of the guards. If Milos is going to play like this, I am very much in on Houston.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think everyone that is trying to downplay the guard spot for Houston is just wrong. Like Cryer can do this, and if Cryer doesn't do this, Uzan will probably do this. So I'm in. I think they're very tough. I think they dominated Kansas's guards in this game, and yeah, I've been seeing Houston as a Final Four team for a couple weeks now. I don't think that's going to change for me when brackets come here.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, congrats to Houston. J'Wan Roberts, what a career. Maybe I'll move you to tiers later today, Cart.